Greetings, everybody. Let's get the show on the road. Tim Wagner here. Welcome to another Monday Live Lunch and Learn. And I'm today doing a little bit of an experiment. Some of you saw maybe a post that I did last week where I went to test something called Restream, and you can see that listed right there. It is over there. And so here we are today, live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn, and this dinosaur learning how to do things better. So what a better way to actually test this all out. So please, as you join, jump into the comments, as I'm also able to see this. And this is going to be a great way for me to actually learn and understand how much I can go further from the technology that it's available, and what an amazing structure and way this is. And what I'm busy doing here is actually jumping in and talking about creating a new habit, or is it a new habit, into my life, a new way of actually doing things. Now, here, ta-da, is a QR code. Scan this QR code to join the free community, because every Monday, my live is about my PathFinders community, where I share, I give back to the community to help you progress, perhaps learn some new tips and tricks and tools. And this is what it's all about. So scan that QR code there. I'm going to share it again later on. Now, if we haven't had the privilege of meeting, my name's Tim Wagner, and I help leaders and teams to really break free from the stress cycle of life, to find meaning, balance, freedom, peace, and calm, to become more productive and impactful and empowered in your business and also your personal life. And today, I'm going to be taking an excerpt from a program of mine, which is called the PathFinders Community, not the PathFinders Community, the Professional Pointer Program, talking today about habits. You see, we can learn all these great things, but until we start to embrace it into our lives, it's not really then part of it. So that's what it is all about. What is a habit? When is a habit not a habit? And how do we create new habits? And no, I'm not talking about these guys. I'm talking about this. 6 inches between your ears. The strings that pull us in all different directions automatically. This is what we are going to be talking about today. So let's climb straight in here. And please feel free to do chat in the comments as well. A habit is a routine or behavior that you repeat regularly. And a habit is unconscious because it's ingrained in your subconscious mind over time. And these habits are formed through repetition and creating new neural pathways in the brain that makes actions automatic. Now, habits can be positive, like brushing your teeth every morning or having your breakfast, but you're not even thinking about how you're doing it because you do it the same way all the time. And habits can be negative, like picking your nose or chewing your nails. You could talk about it like that. But habits play a significant role in shaping how we live our lives and respond to situations. Think of it like you've got this computer system in your head that is run like an old LP. Who remembers the LPs? Anybody remember an LP? And it's got that groove, and the needle is running around and around. And that needle is your repetitive pattern. And it's been doing it for so long that neural pathway that's firing is ingrained. It's a deep groove. And when you want to create a new habit, that needle needs to jump outside of that groove and begin to create a new one. But the problem is, at the beginning, it's not deep. And so that needle, the formation or your actions will slip back into that deep groove and run on it. So you can think of it like a pre-programmed computer that is just running on that message over and over again, the same thing. Now, when we come to creating a new habit, you need to find new neural pathway. So let's practice this. Put your hands out. One hand, thumb up, and the other hand is pointing a finger. And now what you're going to do is alternate, alternate, alternate. And as you do it, go faster and faster. So you're going from thumb up to pointing to thumb up to pointing. You see, what you're doing is at the beginning, you're going to find it a little bit confusing. But the more you practice, the more that you do it, the more you're actually creating new neural pathways firing in your brain until you're actually able to do it automatically without thinking. Because now that groove has got so deep from that repetitive pattern of doing it over and over and over again. Gee, there we go. Got it. Practice this one for really starting to get your brain active. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Who's having fun with that? So here's a question for you. When is a habit not a habit? You see, everything is a choice. And once you know a pattern or a habit or a tendency, and you know about it, it's no longer a habit. You see, a habit is something that you're doing without thinking about it. And as soon as you're aware of it and you recognize the habit, then it's a choice. So you blame the habit for what you are doing that you do not want to do. In fact, the discovery of the habit makes it a choice and no longer a habit. When you recognize something consciously, this means you can investigate the belief that lies behind it, whether it serves you or not. So a belief is merely a thought that you continue to have. Something that you keep thinking about becomes a belief. So my advice, stop using the word habit to hide behind your obvious choice. It's a bad habit, we say. I'm smoking. It's a bad habit. I wish I could kick the habit. It's not a habit. It's a choice. When it's conscious, it can no longer actually be a habit. So that's when a habit is no longer a habit. So how do you create new habits? Well, you've got all these different theories. You need to do something 21 days before it becomes a habit, or for 6 months or 3 months. Well, whatever. You can then go and do NLP or hypnosis to help somebody release an old habit, bring in a new habit. Well, let's have a look at how we could actually do that. Easily accessible. Could you take 1% of your day? 1% of your day to doing something differently. Just 1%. 1% is 17 minutes. We've all got 17 minutes. Or do 1% more. That is all that's needed. As this picture says here, 1 drop a day over 30 days, a year, it all adds up. I remember when I started in the beginning of 2023 running. I had a huge health and fitness goal. And each day in Langebaan, where I live, I ran the same route, or maybe every second day as opposed to each day. But I always ran the same route where I live. And I didn't chase the time. I chased the distance. And every day when I would turn around to go back home, I would mark the spot. I'd turn right at a tree. The next day, I would then run to the next tree, the next corner, the next building, the next bush. Every day doing 1% more. That was all. I didn't say, I'm going to run today 5 kilometers and next week 10 kilometers. I said, today I'm running to this tree. Tomorrow I'm going to do 1% more. And in less than a month, I was running double the distance and not feeling it. I didn't overexert myself. I just grew 1%. How often do we start out with doing something and we want to go from 0 to hero? And then it just becomes hard work. It becomes difficult. You haven't ingrained just that 1%. You see, habits are regularly practiced and routine and small and easy to do, but the source compounds over time. Now, here's a great thing. New habits are difficult until they're not. Taking on a new habit in an already chaotic world requires work. Swapping one thing new with another thing may help. We all say, I don't have the time. When am I meant to start running? Running is an example of a habit, but it is about the 1%er that you add up. But I don't have the time to do these things. Well, what if you took one thing and swapped it for another? Taking in a new habit in a busy schedule is not always very easy, but releasing a habit that doesn't serve you is also difficult because it's a programmed state. So when you make observant and aware that it is a habit, that's when you can go and change it because now it is a belief. For example, let's say, stick to health and fitness or health and wellness, that you need to or would like to or going to start taking multivitamins. Now, you could take those and you could put them in the kitchen cabinet or in the medicine cabinet if you have one. Now, if it's hidden away, you're less likely to remember because it's not a habit to take it. So what if you added that to a routine that you already have in place every day? For example, who here? Morning, Norman. Hello, Karen. Who here brushes their teeth every day? I hope so. So you probably have a routine in the morning, right? Now, if you need to add something else into your day to build a habit so you don't have to think about taking my multivitamins, what if you put those vitamins next to your toothbrush? When you're standing there, you brush, my vitamins, I'm brushing my teeth. There's water ready. Off you go. Or you have coffee every morning. You don't have your vitamins when you brush your teeth. So you put the multivitamins next to the coffee. So it's a habit of having coffee every morning, a habit of brushing your teeth, doing the same thing. Add something else to it until that also becomes a habit. Now, many of you know that I speak about breath work and changing how you breathe to become a conscious, connected breather, which can help change your stressed and reactive state in a chaotic world. How are you going to remember to breathe? I need to remember to breathe. I need to remember to breathe. No, you do that habitually. But how do you focus on your breath? What do you do the same every day? For example, you're always driving to work. While you're driving and you're in the traffic, what if you spend that time, instead of listening to No Hope FM on the radio, but you focus on your breathing? Well, you set an alarm to repetitively remind you at certain times when you're doing something to breathe at the same time. You're adding in an addition to what you're doing every single day. Now, there's a book I'd recommend you to read. You will probably know I'm a reader. There it is. James Clear. Where's the camera? There we go. Atomic Habits. It's an excellent book. It's a great read, this one. Habits are not what you do or how you do it, but about who you become through doing them. There's my QR code again. Scan this, join the community, book a call with me if you'd like to as well. So James Clear in this book, he speaks about tiny changes making a big difference. So what if you stopped focusing on the actions of the habit and focused on who you will become as a result of the habit? That's what you want. It's not about why you do it, how you do it, or what you do. It's who you become as a result. And I referred to you beginning of this being a piece from my professional pointer program. And one of it is all about identifying who you are and who you ultimately will become in your journey of life. And in creating that new version of yourself, one of the key things is embracing new habits, taking in new things, changing old paradigms and limiting beliefs, and creating new ones. So if you found value in it and you scan that QR code, I look forward to seeing you within the Pathfinder community. If you're there already, don't forget the recordings of all our other sessions, as well as many other valuable pieces are in there as well. If you want to have a chat, set up that call with me. I'd love to connect. My name's Tim Wagner, saying until the same time, same place, next week for another live Lunch and Learn. Ciao for now.